Hi, welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to be making shrimp rolls. We have shrimp here, raw, cleaned. See, the veins are all removed, tail removed, shells removed. I'm going to season those with just powder seasoning. I already mixed my seasoning. This is a mixture of flaked red peppers, salt, paprika, adobo seasoning, a little bit of the cayenne pepper, and that's the seasoning that's going to be going on my shrimp. So just a quick sprinkle and toss. All right, sprinkle and toss. Each wrap is going to have one shrimp wrapped in it, so it's it's a nice size. Now for the cabbage mixture, I have it all cut up here. I have cabbage, broccoli, I have onions in here, garlic, and this is all shredded. I'm gonna steam it a little bit, not fully cooked, but steam on the stove. We're going on the stove with the cabbage. All right, flame on. And in this cabbage, all we're gonna put in as liquid is a little bit of organic coconut oil. We're not putting any water, no water in our cabbage when we cook it. A little bit of organic coconut oil right here in the middle, and I'm gonna cover it, put it on low, and it's gonna steam and produce its own liquid. There we go. A little dab of coconut oil, just right there in the middle, in the hottest point, because the flame is right in the middle. And then we're gonna cover. Yeah, you can hear it start sizzling a little bit. The oil is melting. We're just gonna cover this. Nice tight cover. Make sure your flame is on medium or a little bit below medium, because you don't want the cabbage to burn. All right, and then once that cabbage is cooked, we are ready to do our wrap. We're gonna cool the cabbage off down to room temperature before we start wrapping our shrimp roll. If you notice, I'm not calling it egg roll because I am not putting eggs in there. We don't really go for scrambled eggs with cabbage in it. We will not be putting eggs, but it does say an egg roll wrapper. We're just going to be calling it a shrimp roll because there will be no eggs. We have our fresh scallions here that will be added to the cabbage mixture after it's done cooking, because you don't want the scallions to overcook. You want to bite into nice, fresh, fragrant scallion pieces when your rolls are fried. Okay, so this is our egg roll wrappers that we're going to be using. We'll be back once the cabbage is fully cooked. And then with the cabbage, all you're going to be doing is adding a little bit of salt and pepper to taste, and cool down, ready to stuff. That's when we come back. I'll see you in a minute. So back to our cooking cabbage. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This pot's been only covered for about the last 5 minutes. We're not trying to overcook. Here it is, still nice and crunchy. And as I told you, see, the cabbage and the vegetable gives its own liquid on the bottom of the pot, so no need to add water when you're cooking cabbage. Just a little bit of coconut oil. And you want the cabbage, you don't want the cabbage overcooked. You want your cabbage to have a nice crunchy consistency. So we're gonna kill the flames. We're killing the flames. We're removing the cabbage from the heat. And now we're bringing it down to room temperature before we're ready to put it into our shrimp wraps. See? Fogging us up a little bit here. But this is it. Not overcooked. Still nice and crunchy. See, broccoli is still nice and green and crunchy. So at this point now we're going to add the scallions, because we don't want to cook the scallions. The remaining heat in the cabbage will cook the scallions. We don't want our scallions soggy. We still want a little bit of crunch when we when they go into the wrap. So last minute we're mixing in the scallions. And this has white pepper is what I added, and salt. This is the only seasoning, and of course you're seasoning to taste. The cabbage is off the flame, and I'm basically trying to cool it down, because with the remaining heat in the cabbage, because the cabbage is still cooking at this point. You don't want soggy cabbage. You want your cabbage to be crunchy in your shrimp roll. So here it is. So I'm moving it around to kind of cool it off, speeding up the cooling process. I removed it from the heat, and it's sitting on my counter. And when we come back, we're going to start stuffing the wraps with the shrimp and the cabbage. And I'll show you how to. I have a little bit of water in a container. We're going to wet the edges so we can seal and wrap the shrimp rolls. We'll be right back. Okay, so I started doing the shrimp wraps. Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate one in the roll dough. Came some instructions. I just wanted to show you, which makes it so simple. So this is where you're putting the cabbage and the shrimp. Fold over, fold on the sides, and then wrap over. I'm going to demonstrate that right here as well. What we're going to do is put a spoonful of cabbage at one corner. I don't want them to be too small, so I'm putting, like, a decent size amount of cabbage. And one shrimp, because the shrimps are big, so I'm gonna stretch that shrimp out. Then next, we have to make sure that all four corners of the wrap is sealed. So we're dipping. I have water in a container, and we're gonna be dabbing water on the edges all along, because this has to seal properly. You don't want your filling falling out when this drops in the fryer. Okay, there you go. So all four edges are nicely moisturized with the water. Now you're going to give it a nice fold. I have one hand holding the camera, so it makes it kind of difficult for me, but when you have two hands, you can tuck nicely. We're folding over on the corners. Okay, and then you're gonna roll. Okay, I'm doing this with one hand because I have the other hand holding the camera. The ones that I did with two hands happen to be nice and neat. So this is what it looks like. Okay, this is my one-handed roll, and those are all the other rolls that I did with both hands, due to the fact that I'm using rolling with one hand because I have the other hand holding the camera. I'm gonna try one more because I think we only have enough filling for one more. So it goes in one corner. I'm trying to get all this out. This is the last one. All right. We're gonna put our shrimp. Don't forget to put the shrimp. So the shrimp goes right there on top. All right. And then me sealing the edges of the wrap with water. You want it to be nicely sealed so your filling doesn't fall out. So all 4 edges get a generous dab of water. Now, with my one hand, I'm gonna tuck that in. See? Tuck it in. I'm gonna be folding the sides. Okay. Fold and seal right there. Fold and seal. Right, and then give it a last roll. Ooh, not bad. With my one hand roll and tuck. So there it is. These guys, I'm not gonna drop them in the fryer right away. If you want to, yes you can. A nice hot 350-degree fryer, hot oil, deep fryer, you can drop them in and they'll be just fine, nicely brown and cooked. Remember, your filling is almost halfway cooked. The shrimp takes 2 minutes to cook in that hot oil, so you're good to go. With mine, what I'm gonna do, I don't need them until tomorrow. I actually made them a day in advance, so I'm gonna be dropping, covering these up, and they'll be going into my freezer, and I'll fry them off tomorrow and show you and complete the video. Then I'll show you what it looks like tomorrow. Okay, stay tuned. Thank you. Okay, so we're back a day later with our shrimp rolls, and they are frozen hard as rock from the freezer. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put our deep fat fryer on 375. We want it really high and hot because the egg rolls are really cold. Now we have to reheat the entire frozen inside, and it's going to take a while to do that. So the oil needs to be screaming hot to make sure everything is heated through and heated well. When I come back, we'll have nicely browned, crispy, fried, well done shrimp rolls. We'll be back.